Have you noticed that there's one group that has not made any noise or made videos complain about Trump's policies hurting them or their business? Black farmers. How many videos have you seen of black farmers, excuse me, making videos going, oh, I'm going to lose my farm because Trump cut off benefits. I'm going to lose my farm because the Department of Agriculture no longer gives me subsidy. How many videos have you seen of black farmers doing that? That's because black farmers have historically, till this day, been excluded from all government subsidies. So right now, every white farmer is learning how to survive the same way black farmers have been surviving. Like I said, what Trump was going to do was bring every white American down to the black American level. Welcome to niggerness.
Black farmers. Imagine how healthy we would be if we had more black farmers, or let's pretend we have only black farmers, right? I'm talking about the way that the Midwest is going to fall apart without federal funding, specifically all of these farmers, right? But one group that's going to do well is black farmers because they never got all of these handouts. And so I am not opposed to a strategy where we do let some of these rural Midwestern towns kind of fall apart on their own doing and take that as a redistricting opportunity. But think about this. Native Americans, how much healthier would our planet be and our land be if Native Americans had more farmland, which will be one of the groups that have the cash to do so. So I don't know, it's a silver lining I'm trying to think of. I was just trying to think if I've ever known a major farm or plant to have a food recall that was black owned, and if there is, I certainly can't think of it.
So while we're boycotting all the places that are rolling back their DEI programs and we're trying to support local farmers, did you guys know that there is a Black Farmers Index? This is the largest free, most comprehensive directory of black farmers. The index connects you to traditional, non-traditional growers, from row crop farmers, ranchers, vegetable and fruit producers, to beekeepers, fisherfolk, foragers, vintners, and more. The index will take you right to your region. You're just going to want to find your region, and then you're going to want to click on your state. And once you do that, it's actually going to take you and show you all of the farms. It's got their Instagrams linked, their websites linked. A lot of them have their emails on here if you want to ask them any questions. So cool. They even do local events all over, like celebrating Black History Month. Even dinner with a farmer, which I think is really freaking cool. There are so many cool facts and resources and events and ways you guys can support. I highly recommend you guys check them out. And let me know if you guys have anyone near you that you're excited to visit. Just pop it in the comments below and tag them.
We have to protect our black farmers, and more of us need to become farmers, as prices of food will continue to rise. We already have food deserts and food insecurities to contend with in our black community. So it's time to stay focused and get involved. Black farmers have played a critical role in the agricultural development of the United States, contributing significantly to the economy, culture, and the agricultural industry. George Washington Carver, a renowned agricultural scientist and inventor, is credited with creating several innovations in farming tools and practices. While he did not invent the plow itself, Carver's work in improving agricultural practices helped to optimize the use of plows for crop rotation and soil conservation. John Lee Love invented the portable pencil sharpener, but he also developed the mechanical cotton picker, which greatly improved cotton harvesting efficiency. His invention helped replace the labor-intensive process of picking cotton by hand and changed the agricultural industry. Then, in 1887, Joseph E. Lee patented a device that made planting crops easier. A seed sower allowed farmers to plant seeds evenly and efficiently, saving time and labor during planting seasons. This innovation helped increase productivity in farming. John Standard. Then you got John Standard, another black inventor, improved upon the design of the lawnmower in 1899. His patent included a mechanism for the mower's lubrication system, making it more efficient and effective in cutting grass. This innovation contributed to farming as well as landscaping practices. Then we have Henry Blair. Henry Blair was one of the first black Americans to receive a U.S. patent, which he received in 1834. His innovative potato planter, the device was designed to plant seeds more efficiently, significantly improving potato farming by increasing planting seed and accuracy. Henry Blair also patented a corn planter in 36, which allowed farmers to plant corn more efficiently and in uniform rows. This invention reduced labor and time spent planting crops, contributing to the improved agricultural productivity. activity.
Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this episode. I really appreciate your love and your support. If you're new here, my name is Vanessa. Kindly consider subscribing. Today we are going to see how Maga farmers, especially Caucasian, are claiming that very soon are going to lose their farms after voting for their beloved orange man. Now the policies are not benefiting them. After losing everything, they are now worried. But on another side, black farmers are not speaking. We don't know if they are not affected by what is happening, but we're going to see what they think. Stay tuned, watch till the end. I've gathered different clips. A credit goes to the original owners that we're going to see on our screens. Drop your opinions in the comments section. I'll be back with more commentary. Welcome.
Hay rake in the 19th century. The device was designed to make the collection of hay more efficient, reducing labor and time involved in gathering hay after it had been cut. Richard Allen, another black inventor, developed an irrigation system that was designed to conserve water and help farmers manage water resources more efficiently. This system is especially important in regions where water scarcity is an issue. Though not strictly an agricultural invention, Lewis Latimer, another black inventor, developed improvements to the design of the home heating furnace that also had applications in farming for creating more efficient systems for heating greenhouses and farming equipment. But despite the important historical role of black farmers, they continue to face systemic racism in modern day farming, like discriminatory lending practices. One of the most significant challenges for black farmers is access to loans. The USDA's long history of discriminatory practices, including denying loans and assistance to black farmers or offering them less favorable terms, has led to many farmers losing their land. Even today, black farmers face difficulties securing loans from banks and financial institutions due to both racial bias and systemic inequalities. Many black farmers have been unable to keep their land or pass it down through the generations. This issue of land loss has been exacerbated by inheritance problems, where family land is divided and sold off, leaving descendants without access to the land that their ancestors worked and died for. Because there are people not given the right information or resources to keep their land in the first place. Black farmers have often been excluded from USDA programs designed to support farmers and ranchers. There have been instances of racial discrimination where black farmers did not receive equal treatment or support in securing disaster relief, subsidies, or other forms of government aid that white farmers received with no problem. This discrimination persists, and many black farmers still experience unequal treatment in accessing government services that are supposed to be available to them. Black farmers continue to face limited access to resources such as technical assistance, agricultural training programs, and support networks. This makes it more difficult for them to innovate and expand their businesses and compete in the modern agricultural market. In some cases, black farmers also face environmental injustices that disproportionately affect their ability to grow crops and maintain their land. These issues include poor soil quality, contamination from nearby industrial pollution, and limited access to clean water, which often affects the black communities more severely. But it doesn't stop there. In rural communities, black farmers have reported instances of harassment by neighbors, particularly when opposing large-scale agriculture operations like factory farms. Black farmers have engaged in legal actions to combat discriminatory practices within agriculture policies. Despite long-standing advocacy, compensation for past racial discrimination against black farmers has been limited. The USDA announced a $2 billion relief program for black and minority farmers, aiming to address historical wrongs. However, leaders like John Boyd Jr., president of the National Black Farmers Association, criticized the payments as insufficient, stating, "It's like putting a bandage on somebody that needs open heart surgery." Boyd continues to pursue further legal action for more comprehensive debt relief to pay back all the wrongs done to black farmers. The number of self-identified black farmers in the U.S. has declined over the last century, in part due to overt discrimination by the USDA. While recent reports suggest a rise of over 45,000 black farmers, experts question the accuracy of these figures, suggesting claiming that they may be inflated due to the census mythology. This discrepancy highlights ongoing challenges in accurately representing and addressing the needs of Black farmers. These reports underscore the persistent issues of harassment, discrimination, and systemic inequities faced by Black farmers in the U.S. Addressing these challenges requires comprehensive policy reforms, accurate data collection, and sustained efforts to ensure fair treatment and support of Black agricultural communities. So let's recap. Black farmers have made immeasurable contributions to U.S. agriculture, but they continue to face challenges due to systemic racism and historical inequalities. However, their resilience and the work of numerous organizations dedicated to supporting them are helping to ensure that Black farmers have access to the resources and advocacy they need. By addressing the issues of land loss, discriminatory lending, and unequal access to government programs. But more of us need to get in the fight to not only protect our Black farmers, but also to make sure that their produce is where we spend our Black dollars for meat, fresh fruit, and vegetables. Circulating our Black dollars is crucial to our Black liberation. There's nothing we can't accomplish together, and they know it. Now, we need all of our people to know it and act accordingly. Share this video with as many of us as humanly possible to make sure that we're getting the right information out to our people. I love you, Black man. I love you, Black woman. Knowledge is power. Power to the people.
You know, I'm seeing all these videos right now where all these farmers are crying about not getting no help right now. You know what? Let me ask you something. When have you ever heard of a Black farmer crying about it? Never. And you want to know why? Because they ain't never got no help in the first place. That's right. USDA's literally admitted to discriminating against Black farmers. And literally Black farmers had to sue, thousands of them, to get what white farmers are handed for free. And fast forward to today, all these farmers crying that they can't get no help. You see, Black farmers, they've been struggling. Y'all just now feeling what they've been feeling for over 100 years. Black farmers, they used to own over 19 million acres of land. But guess what? Systematic racism, denied loans, shady politicians, and legal loopholes wiped them all out. Yeah. And now they're 1% of America's farmland. When the government finally tried to pass relief for the Black folk back in 2021, white farmers sued to block it, claimed it was reverse discrimination. Make that make sense. So, you know, next time you see folks complaining about farm aid, why don't you ask them, where's the help for the Black farmers? Ask them why their struggle is just now important when others have been suffering for centuries.
So I'm a Black farmer, and a lot of people are wondering, why are Black farmers not panicking like a lot of white farmers? Well, let me explain to you the reasons why. It's because white farmers have been handed everything to them, a lot of them. Not saying all of them, but a good bit of them. And by that I mean this, MLK even pointed out, he says, farmers in the West and the Midwest who were white, they were given land, they were given money, they were given training, they were given a lot. Whereas the Black farmers weren't given anything, and the largest civil rights settlement in U.S. history is Pickford v. Glickman, where you had a class action lawsuit, bunch of Black farmers all joined the lawsuit, and they won a huge settlement because the USDA was shown to be racist for decades. So because Black farmers haven't been given anything, we've been learning to do without, unlike your white farmers. So when things are taken away from you, all your subsidies, all your tax breaks, guess what? You panic. Whereas we've always been going through this shit. So there's problems in privilege.
4 years ago, they were crying because they couldn't afford their student loans. It's kind of strange, because if you're an expert in finance and you got college educated on finance. Wouldn't you think you could take care of your finances in your own house?
I don't know, shouldn't you be able to handle your own finances without constantly relying on Dems to give you handouts and bail you out? Recognize this guy? This is a perfect example of why people make FAFO content. This is a perfect example of why regret is not the same as redemption. You may remember this guy from a video where he was crying about losing his farm because he spent a bunch of money he didn't have because he was banking on receiving certain subsidies that he was promised thanks to the Biden admin. And then when Trump got into office, the guy he wanted, and put a freeze on all the aid that was going out, including the aid going to American farmers like himself, he suddenly had a problem with the whole endeavor. People, of course, understandably dragged him, made a bunch of FAFO content, and then he came out and asked people to stop, kicking him while he was down, that he was here to listen and to learn, and that he didn't know about all this Project 2025 stuff. He'd had the wool pulled over his eyes. But now he's in pain, he's afraid for his farm, he's willing to hear people out. In fact, it sparked a conversation where people were saying, let's embrace these people who are regretting their choices and let's speak to them because clearly they want to learn. I'm not going to say that everyone who has regrets doesn't want to learn. What I'm saying is that having regrets does not mean that someone has learned. Having regrets about doing something that would harm a lot of people simply because you're now being harmed, that's not a lesson. You're still operating completely out of self-interest. You have not learned anything. So what happened? Well, a bunch of people who have been pushing against this administration and all the havoc it has been wreaking, all the destruction it is causing, sued the admin over those frozen funds and successfully got those funds unfrozen, at least temporarily. So this learning and listening farmer got his funds released. Now he's fine. What do you think? Did he learn a lesson? Nope. He's now back to going after everyone else. He's now back to not listening to people when they're explaining how tariffs are going to harm the economy. For example, he's now making fun of people who took out student loans. If they're bad with their finances, what are you, dude? What are you? What is your farm if it cannot exist or survive without Dems bailing it out all the time? Yeah, when things get bad for you again, no one's going to be fooled when you claim to be listening and learning. Next time it's time for you to find something out, we're going to know. If you're not out there working to undo the harm that you caused, I'm sorry. Your regret is not redemption.
Since we're about to make sure that we can eat in 2025 and we want to make sure that we are buying our produce, our meat, and our goods from like-minded people, there are two places you can look. One is blackfarmersindex.com. You can use this site to find black farms near you. You can also go to Farm Fresh 24/7, which is a black-owned app, so you can find local farmers, bakers, and all kinds of things near you. We want to get away from shopping from the big guys. We want to start shopping locally with the people around us. So not only can we keep money within our community, but we can also ensure that if there are any supply chain disruptions, we don't have to rely on the grocery store. And yes, you can go to your local farmer's market, make friends with people, but make sure you make friends with them outside of the farmer's market in case the farmer's markets are no more for whatever reason. Volunteer your time. We got to do what we got to do to bring us back to a place of community, a place of having a local supply chain, and just doing things differently.
All right, welcome back. These black farmers are really hard workers. I love this because they don't depend on government support. That's why today they are not crying. They seem not to be affected like the way these Maga farmers who were depending on those government support are now suffering. That's why you see whatever that is happening today, it's not something like surprise to them. It's not a challenge because it's not something new in their experience in this field. They have been fighting to find those solutions to solve all those challenges that they have been meeting since before, not just in these days after voting this month. So a shout out and big clap goes to these black farmers who are really heroes, and they know how to solve their problems and they know how to deal with those challenges without shouting, without calling all the word that we are meeting with this. Nobody knows how they solve all those challenges, but they do their best to find solutions without claiming. So I don't have any empathy for these MAGA farmers who just voted for hatred because they wanted other people to be deported and they forgot about themselves. Imagine having that much hatred that is over your benefits, that is greater than your own interest. To the extent you vote against your own interest, you vote for mass deportations. I'll be always telling you about these guys, because whatever that is happening, those who are crying like I'm gonna lose my farm, it's because what you voted for. It's because of the man you voted for is now partnering with those billionaires who are now buying those farms. So he is now fighting to gain his interest, but not fighting for your own interest. America first, but not for all. That's why you see today it's not everyone that is enjoying what is happening under this Trump's administration. And now many people are living in regret. They don't want to think about themselves. They don't want to see the past. They don't want to see the future because of all that you did, guys. And you know, those who were working in your farms, 70% were illegal immigrants. So what were you expecting after voting for this policy? You thought you will, whom were you thinking that would replace all these people, guys? Tell us. Don't feel ashamed or don't feel guilty. Tell us in the comment section, whom were you expecting to replace all these people? And you know, that time many people were just laughing, thinking that the guy will not be able to deport all these people, but you've seen what is happening. All those workers, not only farmers, but also others who are illegal, they don't want to show up at work. They don't want to get out of their homes because of these ICE raids. So those and you who voted for this, no one is comforted with what is happening. Everyone is in regret, which is too late to change what you have chosen. But you see, now black farmers are remaining silent, working day and night, making their own money because they know how to handle their problems without relying on those Latinos who are getting deported, without relying on those government support. Please don't hear my voice defending or supporting these black farmers. It's because of the research that I did, which is telling challenges faced by black farmers. There is systemic discrimination. Black farmers have historically faced systematic discrimination in accessing loans, subsidies, and other resources provided by the USDA and other institutions. That is the first. The second is land loss. This discrimination, along with other factors like predatory lending and lack of access to legal support, has contributed to the significant loss of land owned by black farmers. There is also economic hardship. The combination of discrimination, limited access to resources, and the challenges of modern agriculture have created significant economic hardship for many black farmers. But currently, they got advocacy and support. Organizations like the National Black Farmers Association and the Black Farmers Collective are working to support black farmers, advocate for their rights, and promote black-led food systems. Focus on equity and justice. Efforts are underway to address the historical inequities and systemic discrimination faced by black farmers and to ensure they have fair access to resources and opportunities. Growing awareness. There is increasing awareness and recognition of the historical injustices faced by black farmers and the need for systemic change to support their future. I don't know what you think on this deep research that I did to see how black farmers have been surviving all these challenges since so many years ago, but that's all that I got. If you are watching this video and you have something to add on, feel free, don't hesitate to let us know what you think. Thank you so much for watching till the end. I really appreciate your love and your support always to this channel. Kindly consider subscribing, leave a like to this video. See you in the next episode. Bye bye.